Everything you are about to witness is for entertainment purposes only.
The further a society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. You ever notice the more honest you are, the more people suddenly don't like you? Like, you tell the truth once and people act like you're the worst person in the world. But think about it, if someone built their entire identity on a comfortable lie, then the truth feels like a threat. They're not mad because you said something wrong, they're mad because now they have to face something that they've been avoiding. Truth forces self-reflection, and most people would rather stay blind than uncomfortable. When you speak up, suddenly you're negative, controversial, problematic, but really, you just refuse to join the group delusion. So don't let the hate bother you. If the truth makes people uncomfortable, that means they needed to hear it.
My friend just texted me talking about she went to my page and she could see all my drafts. And now I'm seeing notifications that my friends liked my draft. Excuse me? TikTok got us up. Y'all better go to y'all page now and delete those drafts. This is so embarrassing.
I don't like what's happening with our kids, and I think this is a really shitty time for them to be growing up or being on the cusp of adulthood. I have a senior in high school who is applying to college. He's received 2 acceptances so far, and he is not excited. There is no excitement there about what the future holds. Will AI take my job? What can I major in that is safe? I will never be able to buy a house, or I'm going to be 40 by the time I can afford my first home. They are entering the world with a very different mindset than in the late 90s, early 2000s, us as parents. I mean, I got that college acceptance letter and it was like, oh my God, I couldn't wait to go. There was no way my future wasn't bright. Like, the whole world was in front of me. And I feel so bad for these kids because does not seem like that. The messaging is not the same. I think rightfully so. I want to hear from you guys, from other parents who are in the same boat as me. Like, what is the conversation that we have, without being Pollyanna, positive?
Is it just me, or does anybody else find it weird that they can't tell you about 80% of the ocean, but they want to show you some solar system that they found 80 billion light years away? Make it make sense.
You know what I just realized? There's too many hot girls all over the internet, all over the TikTok, YouTube. It's just being a hot girl is not special anymore. It's just too many of you. What else do you got? I prefer just a regular looking girl who has a nice personality and is just a good person over a billion of hot girls that are nothing special, really.
Your smart TV is spying on you. Be aware of the fact that your Apple Watch is listening. And there's cameras everywhere. There's microphones everywhere. You can't just assume that your conversation is private.
Can you disable a smart TV?
No, you need to power it off entirely.
Like, unplug it.
Turning it off is not sufficient enough. Our phones, our Alexas, our Apple Watches, our smart TVs are collecting data on us. And there's AI now that grabs keywords that people say, and then it's assigned to an agent, and that agent then goes through and looks at the conversation and sees if it's worth picking up on and investigating further. So it's not necessarily just about the fact that we're being mass surveilled. It's about the fact that we have AI tools now that are helping people more rapidly process this information that I think is extremely scary, because AI gets it wrong. And you may be saying something that you think is innocent. Whether or not it's interpreted that way by AI, or whether or not it's interpreted as innocent by the person that gets assigned that case, is not up to you.
That's a pretty scary thought.
I just want to talk about how fucking stressful it is to be 17 and 18 years old right now, especially for our generation with the way everything's fucking going. I mean, it is over like 80% harder or some shit like that to start your life, or the American dream, as they say, which does not fucking exist anymore, by the way. Like, when we can't fucking afford it, the jobs don't pay enough for the prices. I mean, it's hard as fuck to get a job right now. I'm working concrete with my fucking grandpa because I couldn't find anything else to do. And working this job has made me realize that I don't want to fucking do shit like this for the rest of my life, and I need to get rich. Like, bad. Like, that's all I'm fucking thinking about. But I can't be the only 17 or 18-year-old right now who's, like, literally, like, shitting fucking bricks because of how scared they are to start their life. Like, I can't be the only one.
Is it just me, or does anybody else sometimes wonder now as an adult why they didn't teach us how to grow food in school, why they didn't teach us how to do taxes in school, why they didn't teach us how to build houses or, be handyman in school?
Dementia within 20 to 30-year-olds is spiking.
Oh, gosh.
They actually said there's a 400% increase in dementia in ages 30 to 44.
Do they know what's up?
Scrolling. They said it's ruining memory, attention span, and it's literally turning into dementia.
When are we going to say enough is enough and throw these things in a lake?
That's crazy.
400% increase.
Scrolling online is just biologically changing.
It's the attention span and memories going down. It's literally corroding our minds.
Dude, I believe it.
Not just like, oh, their memory's not as good. It's like dementia.
Terrible.
Is it because you're like only exercising like your dopamine receptor and then everything else is atrophying or something?
It's possible.
I mean, the anxiety too. We talked about looking out at water, and just like looking out to a horizon does something to the brain where it can like reset everything. And it kind of brings like scriptures to mind where it says like, be still and know that I am God.
Doesn't it say scroll and know that I'm God?
Millennials still act like they're in their 20s. Yes, correct. I am definitely saying we all have arrested development because we experienced a housing crash, 9/11, a 20-year war. We experienced the first case of HIV and AIDS. We experienced Smart House and iRobot now being real life and turning around probably to end us all. We experienced going through Y2K where the world's supposed to end, the Mayan calendar where the world was supposed to end, and some random preacher where the world's supposed to end. That's 3 times in our lifetime where the world's supposed to end. A pandemic that wiped out a ton of people. I think it's fair to say we've had a lot of experiences to say that we are stuck in our young ages because there's a lot that happened. And let's talk about catfishing, because the OG catfishing was dial-up. When you had to connect to the internet through your phone line and you would get into an AIM chat room, yeah. Let's just hope that that person said who they were, because you're really not going to be able to see them until you meet at the gas station down the street. So all I'm saying is you're welcome from the old generation to the new generations. We are basically the bridge in between.
Delete Spotify. You don't need it. They don't pay their artists. They're increasing their prices. They invest in drone warfare. They promote AI music. They run ICE ads. There's other options. You don't need Spotify. Get rid of it.
You mean to tell me that there's an actual stove coil inside, up under my air fryer? Moment of truth. No, you gotta be kidding me, bro. All right. So there is one in every air fryer. Just, it's above it now. And there's air. There's a fan. So basically what we were sold was a fan. We could have just made this ourselves, guys, but we didn't have that. We didn't have the idea. Ninja had the idea. Dude. And it's like upside down cooking. That's basically what it is.
Curtis 50 motherfucking Cent Jackson officially broke the internet with that Diddy documentary, baby. And when I tell you that thing dropped at 3 a.m., it's now 7 a.m. and it's already #1 on Netflix, he wasn't playing. Baby, the documentary is called The Reckoning, but it actually should be called Reckless, because the way Diddy was out here in these streets is absolutely fucking diabolical. Now, 50 is saying that this is about justice, but baby, the way he did this documentary is definitely giving vendetta. And when I tell y'all that 50 got receipts for days, y'all, this man got drawers, y'all. He got recordings. He got, y'all, the FBI raid, y'all, the whole timeline of the takedown. All y'all listening to what I'm telling y'all right now. Now, let me just say this. This documentary is not all about the situation that happened with Cassie. He did a very good job with telling a whole story about Diddy regarding his entire life, from the time he was a child up into this very situation that did happen with Cassie. Y'all, when I say receipts, I'm talking about, y'all, the situation with Biggie. Y'all, the situation with Tupac. He got that man looking like a whole goddamn slime ball out here in these streets. Do you hear me? And the fact that this man got more receipts and more coverage and more footage than the FBI is what's actually mind-blowing to me. But when I tell y'all, if you have not watched it, please stop what you're doing. Don't walk, go run. When I tell y'all that 50 did this motherfucking documentary like the rent was due, the mortgage was due, baby, the light bills and the car payment too, he did his big one on this one. Great job, 50.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not
disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
I thought Elon Musk gave you a Neuralink, bro, because you're way too smart.
I'm curious though.
I would love one, by the way. after the first couple thousand go through, I want one.
Yeah.
You'd put one in? Oh, 100%.
I would. Why not?
The thing is, what's
Why
interesting,
not? Why wouldn't you?
Once you, the Neuralink actually works and you can symbiosis with technology and just download things to your brain, you'll be able to make so much money that it doesn't matter how much the procedure will cost. Anyone will be able to afford it, essentially. So I think like the first few would probably go for an absurd amount of money. Right. It's like even if you had $0, you could just hypothetically borrow $100,000, get it, because once you have infinite, bandwidth to unlimited knowledge, you could make unlimited money.
It doesn't scare you at all?
Whoa,
No,
wait
you're like
a
pretty
second,
much
wait
a
a second,
robot.
I'm sorry. Ideas don't make you money. Since when in late stage capitalism do ideas make you money? Neuralink does not increase your capital. It extracts your capital. Okay? These ideas, the infinite amount of ideas that are going to make you infinite amount of money, they only make you money when you own them. Look, Jimmy's clearly a really smart guy. I mean, he's made quite a living for himself. But this idea that there's this infinite money glitch once you just, get this infinite amount of ideas and then you can never stop, therefore you can just increase your capital, like that all falls apart when you actually take into consideration how money is made. People get rich because they have ownership, exclusivity, copyright, first mover advantage, scarcity, like all of those things. And ideas have to produce money, and they only produce money if they're not shared, not instantly replicable, not publicly available, not extracted from you as you think about them. Like, I really want Mr. Beast to hear me when I say, with Neuralink in your head, your thoughts have no exclusivity window anymore. What would happen to Mr. Beast Enterprises at that rate?
Another thing that's on my mind while I'm thinking about it, we don't need any more technology in the cars. We've done it. We've perfected car technology. Lane keep assist, cruise control, the little screen in the center, we've done it. We don't need nothing else. Because it starts with massage seats. And everyone's like, ooh, I like that. I feel bougie. Now they're talking about Wi-Fi. You know what comes after Wi-Fi, right? It's advertisements. It's AI. And then you in a rush to get somewhere. Hey, watch this 30-second ad before you can start your car. Oh, but don't worry. We have your car premium package. So you can skip the ads before you press to start. Bro, we don't need any more tech in the cars. We're good.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure. When the Roman Empire was collapsing, there was a man named Constantine. And Constantine ended up having this brilliant idea where they would restructure the Roman Empire. In where? Istanbul, Turkey. That's where it started, was Istanbul with Constantine. That's why it was called Constantinople. And so Constantine was brilliant. He's like, how do we control everything? If we rewrite history, we can write the future too, because who controls the past controls the future. And then they also realized, well, we can't really have people like reaching higher states of consciousness through spirituality and through these teachings, so let's also take over religion. Then what they did was interesting, is then they burned the Library of Alexandria, went around the world and systematically destroyed all the ancient groups that were pre-Christian, such as the Gnostics. There was a war over the ancient ways versus the new ways. And so the Roman Empire, the Crusades by the Christian Empire, was not about just converting people to Christianity, but it was about literally destroying any echoes of the past.
I'm so confused right now, but I just went down a rabbit hole. Is there really people that believe that back in the day they switched the maps and that America is actually Israel and that Jerusalem is in Arkansas? At first I thought people weren't being serious, but then I look in comments and people really believe this and saying that Memphis is Egypt and Babylon. I never thought in a million years I'd hear the sentence, Jerusalem is in Arkansas, and that the people there are going to find enlightenment. And then trying to piece it together saying that the Mississippi River is really the Nile River, and Arkansas can have any kind of tree, plant, and fruit, and bear any animal and stuff. People get so obsessed about random conspiracies. Like, go focus on getting rent money. Go focus on eating healthy and exercising. Jerusalem is not in Arkansas. And if it was, what does that even do for you?
They believe they found the skull of Jimmy Hoffa this morning,
right now.
Let's go.
It's at a
In
construction
concrete?
site. Yeah, in concrete. This was in Boston at a seaport. They're taking it. They're going to examine it now to see if it actually is Jimmy Hoffa there. But that is hilarious, dude. So workers repairing concretes at Boston's Black Falcon terminal in the seaport discovered human skull encased in the material. The skull is now under examination by a forensic anthropologist. What if it was, dude, all these years later?
That would be crazy, considering all of the skulls that are in the sea. But yeah.
How many skulls though are in cement?
Yeah, no, it's laid into the foundation.
It's laid into the foundation, Jesse.
Oh, I thought it was like in
No,
the sea.
no. That is actually in the foundation right there. So that's the rumor we had always heard, but we just didn't know where. Remember the first one was the Giants end zone, the New York Giants?
Meadowlands,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Meadowlands. They ended up doing, I think, some form of X-ray or excavation
So
or
that's all
something.
bullshit.
And it was bullshit.
They did
didn't find
LiDAR,
anything. But
but-
this is weird, man. Like, for sure.
Who does the land, the water, and the natural resources of this planet belong to? Who decided that one human could stand up one day and declare, "This is mine, and you must pay to use it"? Did you sign a contract when you were born agreeing to these terms? No. You arrived here pure and unbound, but you were immediately ushered into a world where access to the very essentials of life, land to live on, water to drink, food to eat, comes with a price tag. And that price tag is not set by nature. It's set by the system. This is one of the most effective forms of programming, convincing people that they must earn their right to exist on a planet they were born into. Ownership of resources is not just about wealth. It's about control. When a small group controls land, water, energy, and food production, they don't just control the economy, they control human behavior. They can dictate where you live, what you eat, what you pay, and even what's possible for your future. This is why throughout history, control of resources has been at the heart of nearly every major conflict. Not ideology, not religion, but the raw power of ownership. Divide and distract. One of the oldest strategies in politics is divide and rule. Keep the population fighting among themselves over ideology, identity, race, religion, and they will never unite to question the system as a whole. This is why political discourse is so often framed as us versus them. It's a psychological trap. If you're focused on winning against your neighbor, you're not looking at who built the arena you're fighting in.
They've been fucking with us for way too long. So apparently they don't want us planting female trees because those female trees produce fruit. And that fruit makes us self-sustainable. And once I saw that, everything started making sense. The empty shells, the flavorless produce, and the vegetables that look perfect but die in 2 days. Bro, it's all connected. They don't want you growing anything that puts the power back in your hands. So I went down the rabbit hole. And guess what everyone's been using to break out of the system? The damn seed vault kit. They're not your regular seeds. There's 35 heirloom varieties built to thrive in different climates. Real peppers, real tomatoes, real greens. The kind of food that tastes like food again. This kit gives you self-reliance, reusable seeds, and a garden that keeps on giving. Check out the reviews. You'll see families eating meals grown entirely from this kit. Tap that cart while they're still in stock.
Meta, Facebook, is shutting down the Messenger app for Windows and Mac. So if you use a laptop or a desktop and you use the Messenger app after December 15th, you can't anymore. You just can't. They're shutting it down. You will have to use a web-based interface from now on if you want to use the Messenger app on your laptop, desktop, whatever. And the reason for this is simple. Desktops, laptops are dying. They're going away as a format.
Roblox is a platform for adults that is marketed to children. Of the 111.8 million people that play Roblox every day, according to their most recent report, 40 million of them are under 13. On the Apple App Store, the Roblox game is rated 13 plus. You can register on the Roblox website as young as 5 and it'll let you play. They partner with SpongeBob and Barbie, whose primary audiences are young children. So then I turned on all the parental controls. I set the thing to low, to like the filtering for violence and sexual stuff and things. And it let me play this game called Public Bathroom. And in Public Bathroom, I walk into this big open room. Like if you go to the YMCA and you go to the pool, they've got those giant rooms, the indoor pools.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, and then there's beds around the edge of the pool. And then there's characters humping each other and making sexual noises, around the pool.
And you're an 8-year-old.
I'm an 8-year-old, so I'm just cruising around this little pool with my Roblox character as an 8-year-old. And then I walk into the bathroom component, and there's bathroom stalls and there's shower stalls. And there's people going in and out and sharing the stalls with each other and making noises and humping each other in the bathtubs and stuff. At the end of the day, does Roblox have games that are appropriate for kids? Yes. Do they have mechanisms to prevent kids from playing games that are not appropriate? No. There's only one change that they need to make. So they announced 100 safety features this year. All BS. They only need one. It's called a whitelist mode. Same thing I was telling you about YouTube Kids. All they need to do is respect parental authority and not let kids play things that their parents have not pre-approved. And they could call it a approved games mode. That's all they need to do.
Like a Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft has that.
Yeah.
Went down the lottery rabbit hole. It's literally a scam because who wins all the time? I went down the lottery rabbit hole. It's literally a scam because who wins all the time? The government.
Yeah.
Think about it. Every time somebody wins, they get their cut before you even get yours.
Oh, yeah. Taxes, yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing, it goes even deeper. So with lottery winners, a lot of them are actually, they have government ties. They're like federal workers or they have government jobs or they're part of the government somehow. Even Epstein, he allegedly won the lottery. Did you hear about that?
No.
So get this. This is a crazy story. This is crazy. So get this. He has a house out in New Mexico called Zorro Ranch. Now, not too long ago, 6-7 years ago, there was a lottery winner who won in Oklahoma. And it wasn't a person, it was a trust. Guess what name? Zorro Ranch.
No way.
Now here's the thing. Now people are saying, well, Oklahoma's not too far from New Mexico. Maybe it's some type of, just a coincidence. But what was weird is that this trust is the same name as the trust that he had in New York. So you don't think he has more than one trust named Zorro? And he has a place named Zorro Ranch that's close to the same place? Again, it just gives way. Like, is the lottery a scam? Because it looks like it. I think it's all ran by the government.
It seems that Netflix has wised up and now they're stretching out their seasons over the course of 3 months instead of just 1 month because they realize that users are just getting a subscription for the 1 month so they could binge watch the show that they wanted to watch and that comes out during that time and then canceling after they watched it. So now they're stretching out seasons over multiple months. Sorry, my phone's dying. So that way they can get more money and more subscription from somebody instead of just 1 month. So first evidence of this is I'm seeing from Stranger Things. I see that they're releasing it month by month over the course of 3 months. So instead of just getting it for 1 month and canceling it, you have to get it for 3 months to watch the whole thing. So, or unless you just wait until the very last month and then you just binge watch the whole thing. That's also, the way to work around that because I know that's what they're trying to do. But at the same time, you're at risk of seeing spoilers because people will spoil it for you. So, it's a gamble. But Netflix is definitely wised up. I mean, they should have just done it like Amazon Prime does. They release new episodes every week on new shows. That way they get more bang for your buck. But this is the way Netflix has started it, so that's why they're doing it now. So, just an observation.
PepsiCo is literally using a robot that mimics human taste buds to make sure that you crave their product before you've even had the first bite. When machines determine what we crave, it's not food anymore, it's manipulation. How Cheetos are engineered to melt away in your mouth so your brain doesn't think you're eating anything and you can't register the calories. They call this vanishing caloric density. How Doritos and other snacks are laced with MSG that's given to rats in obesity studies to make them fat. How they create flavors that don't exist in nature in a chemical laboratory so that it creates the 1 millionth best part of a taste. Our brains have not evolved to handle that, and that's one of the reasons why 38% of preteens are now pre-diabetic, and that's unacceptable. The fact that the food companies continue to use these tactics that they learned from the tobacco industry and how to hijack our taste buds, hijack our brains so that we cannot stop eating. We can't stand a chance against that type of manipulation, and that's why Big Food needs to be held accountable, and they need to stop that right now.